Hey, oh, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny 5 Alive here, and welcome back to the Summer Coaster Contest. We're going to be kicking off the first of 4 creations here today with Camp Chaos, created by NicerDicer, a grand master in this community, as well as a silver supporter. Thank you so much, NicerDicer. And here they say, hey guys and gals, and welcome to Camp Chaos. What would summer be without a relaxing trip to a camp filled with classic activities like canoeing, campfires, dipping your feet in the lake, playing some volleyball, and so much more. Camp Chaos was founded in the late 80s by Chris Haas and quickly became a popular destination. But over the years, more and more guests began to complain about the overwhelming presence of the local wildlife. The number of visitors dropped rapidly. Eventually, Chris was financially ruined, fled the country, and left his beloved camp to be reclaimed by nature. Who knows, maybe some new residents have moved in over the year. Okay, let's check this out. This is amazing. Oh my god, that is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, wow. Wowie. My freaking goodness. Freaking chaos indeed. Holy Toledos. I did not expect this type of creation from our wonderful bard, NicerDicer. What are this? Oh, I thought this was like a I thought it was his mouth. I was like, what's going on with this guy over here? He's driving like a plow, and he's gonna take out the trees and the coaster. They're setting trees on fire with flamethrowers. There was a Slipknot concert, if you didn't see that. Oh, Starry Starship, his buddy Starry Agent, a shout out there. Very, very fun. Spinning crabs, there's a playground. They're all going nuts. Using the movers, make trampolines and spinny rides. They're playing volleyball. Oh, he's actually bouncing it. I don't know how that works, but they're doing it. This is absolute chaos indeed. You're using a forklift and you got a pallet on there. That's cute. Lifting them up and down. These crabs are having a good time. Here's the Slipknot concert, or the Snipknot. Oh my god, words. They're Oh, wow. I love this wooden coaster over here as well. Look at this. You actually put a car on it and then put a crab on the car. And we got a orbit view. Yeah, look at this. Whee! Crab coaster. It's so good. because why not? Oh my heavens. Is there anything else I'm missing? Of course there is. There's stuff everywhere. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff you can't really see from the coaster. I mean, I caught a glimpse of a lot of it. The way you kind of rolled the coaster so I could see this, the skip not sign was actually quite smart, or a happy accident, whichever way you look at it. But I actually did get to read it from the POV of the coaster. But there's so many things going on here that you kind of have to just fly the camera around and have a second look at it all. Yeah, this guy's chopping trees down. There's so many things I didn't quite notice from the POV of the coaster, but it also doesn't help that we're going so fast. But wow, what a crazy and wild and unforgiving adventure. It looks cool though from this like kind of perspective here. Camp Chaos. You know, it's got like a nice queue. It's got a nice sign. You did say it was abandoned, so it's all overgrown. So you definitely hit your theme there. The boarding station's falling apart. There's overgrown moss. Everything is being overgrown and taken over. The silliness of the crabs. I mean, it's a game after all. It's Planet Coaster. We're here to have fun, and that's exactly what you did here. You delivered a fun, creative laugh for us with this massive quarter of the park blueprint showing what could be done with 8K, taking up the entirety of the freaking workspace that this game offers. Is NicerDicer. Wow. So there it is. That's a fun way to kick off the episode. Is NicerDicer with Camp Chaos. Let's go see what other shenanigans we have here today. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is the Ocean's Depths by SentinelJak, a builder in this community. Don't recognize the name, so probably their first ever build. And here they say, for my summer coaster creation, I decided to set the scene of going on a scuba diving adventure at a resort inspired by the islands of Hawaii. Here at Honu Coast, you can find the Ocean's Depths, a diving adventure, a coaster that takes you above and beneath the waters to explore all that the ocean has to offer. Catch glimpses of the shipwrecks, buried temples, coral reefs, and beautiful resort too. While a great ride during the day, the Ocean Depths shines in a magnificence at night with the underwater lighting that will dazzle the eyes. Enjoy your time at the resort. Have a safe dive. Very, very fun. Looks like a couple of the crabs from Camp Chaos made it over here. Wow, that's so cool. Completely underwater experience here today. The first, I think, in the entire contest. And in fact, I feel like we haven't seen enough of the aquatic underwater coasters from Planet Coaster 2 in general. I want to do front bumper this time because yeah, the seat thing was kind of getting in our way a little bit there, and they did say that this experience is going to be much better at night as well. It's very nice. You slowed it down, did more of a dark ride pace under the water, but then had like a bit more of a somewhat standard coaster layout above the water, and I kind of like that mixture. We got a little bit the contrasting effects. Okay, let's check this out. And there it is. Wow, some really good shots of this at night. Let's pop over to the bird's eye view here. Where am I? Oh my god, look at this. This is amazing. I love the green glow underwater. And then when we're looking up, we get the green glow above us. The whole track glows green when it's not actually green at all. I guess you colored the panels just slightly. I don't know how you did that. It looks really captivating. I really like the look of that and how you pulled that off. That kind of gradient between blue and green is quite nice indeed. Definitely shining at the nighttime. Very good experience. It looks good at night. Now, you did this thing where you use the panels to make it look like we're underwater, which is smart, but then you cut holes in them. You try to cover it up so you didn't see all the jagged corners. So you try to cover it up with water to hide that. I'm wondering how it would have looked if you just smashed it through, like didn't do that at all and just we went through the tiles. I guess the reason you did that is because you would have noticed you might have seen like a line, but I think we're traveling so fast that it would have just been like blip, right? And you wouldn't have noticed it, in my opinion. But yes, you are turning it there. You would have just had to bring the coaster up a bit higher, so it's smashing straight up and then smashing straight down. And I think that would have been a better effect too, because it's like, now we're back up and now we're back down. It's just kind of hovering there. And then you could have just added a splash to kind of, shock the senses a little bit. And then it would have kind of hidden that. I think, yeah, because having those holes there and the gurgliness, it does seem a little bit strange. Breaks the immersion, if you will. So I would just hit it right through the glass panels, just do a splash on the screen. And I think it would be fine. Personally, I would love to see a little bit more of a standard coaster layout up above, where I think I would have brought it closer to the beach and had a more compact, tight layout. And then that way the underwater part of it doesn't seem intentional at all. It seems like that's the coaster layout, and then boom, hit us with the underwater surprise. But overall, I think it's pretty fantastic. The way you did the lighting is really superb. Some of the best that I've seen so far, especially between that day and night of the water. It's looking fantastic. And I think it's the first truly underwater coaster, even though it's a bit of a 50-50 mix. It's the intention here is the underwater experience of the contest so far. And I think that's really fantastic. And the actual setting here, it's pretty captivating, right? You got the hotels and the tropical paradise pack being used here. It's really nice. All right, very good stuff from a brand new builder to this community is SentinelJak. Great stuff on this one. Keep on keeping on. And let's jump over to our next creation of the day. Next up is Tomb Raider by Mr. Porg 22. An advanced builder, and here they say, I think the best part of summer is the themed rides like at Disney or Universal, or maybe even, I know, Lagoon. There is a little splash zone. I never put down any markers or different pathing because I didn't think of that, and I didn't want to redo the whole path in the area just to be a little bit different. There are at least one, I hope, dozens of 100 of different plant and tree species. For the ride, or I guess coaster, I accidentally broke a world record while making the coaster. It's not a Planet Coaster world record, but it's a real life world record. It's the world record for the world's tallest beyond vertical drop. There is an exit gift shop at the restaurant. I didn't put any signs because I completely forgot about them until after I turned into the blueprint. I tried to put a little bit of details, I guess. I surprised myself a little by when I made a sign for the coaster because of how good it looks. I'm not happy with the onboard music. I couldn't find something that wasn't annoying and something that was adventurous, percussion heavy. In the queue, there is a pre-show with an animatronic, and to be honest, that's the first time I made one. So don't suspect something cool. And there is some text that tells the story in a Disney-esque way. My inspiration for the story is Indiana Jones. I even gave an animatronic some rope, so I hope it looks like a whip at the little reference. I put a little parking space and garage doors behind the show building. Also, this is my very first roller coaster contest, and in the future, I want to design a roller coaster for a job. So hopefully, this contest should be perfect piece of cake, or a walk in the park. I don't know. Hopefully, I told you enough about my coaster. I don't want to spoil anything. Notes, please use the terrain tool to unbury the track, and that is in the ground. Holy Toledos, that is quite the introduction. We're probably done riding the coaster at this point. right, really cool stuff. We can see that there's a couple issues going on here, which is not necessarily the fault of the creator or just a lack of knowledge from the creator, potentially. What you can do in the future if you want this to auto-tunnel for the creation, I think I've mentioned this before, put pathing down there, right? So pathing, this pathing. When you place something, let me just grab a shop or something, like a facility. Yes, this has pathing. Boom. See that? That's a path. It will auto-tunnel the ground. So if you're gonna make a tunnel on your coaster, right? If you have a path down there, boom, when I place it, it'll auto-carve the whole thing out. And yeah, and that should do the job just fine. But in the meantime, we can push all this down for you. That's just a solution for the next time. I like the dark ride elements at the start of the coaster. I thought that was really well done. Coaster layout seems pretty good. You said you're a coaster enthusiast inspiring to be a coaster designer. So in terms of coaster engineering, I'm not the person to give you that type of advice. I'll admit that. I'm a creative guy, and I'm by far no means a coaster enthusiast. I just know a good experience when I see one. And I'm here to have a good time, entertain, and check out all these fun creations. So in terms of actual coaster engineering feedback, I'm sure there's a dozen people on this Discord that can help you with that sort of stuff. But it's a little bit weird to me that I'm going to say this, but the map felt flat to me. And that's kind of expected when we're not allowing people to do terraforming. But throughout this contest, so many people have scaled up rocks and done terrain without using terrain. And what I mean by that is, like, when you have the terrain tool, if you just double click on the terrain, you can manipulate the terrain, right? And we're so used to seeing builds use the terrain, and this entire contest, you're not allowed to do that because you can't save that into a blueprint. So I didn't actually expect there to be a whole lot of terrain, and everyone's showing me otherwise. You can scale up rocks and do things with the terrain. So this is the first creation of the contest so far that I felt was a little bit flat as a result, which did feel a little bit strange to me in comparison to what we've seen so far throughout this contest. So maybe you could find a way to improve your landscaping for next time, but in blueprint form, that's definitely quite challenging to do. Maybe include some fencing around there. Something felt a little off to me about the actual flatness of the landscape. But the front half of the coaster and everything going on over here felt really, really sharp. I really like the interior dark ride section, as I mentioned. So let's flip it over to night now that I've fixed the coaster, and there's one going up the lift right now, so we can check that out. Oh, I guess we want to start from the station, actually. I did front bumper the smoothest ride experience possible. I think maybe we could check it out from the back and do something different. Let's go. And there it is. A look at it all at nighttime. Didn't quite fix the underground. Did you guys see the building that fell on our heads? Oh my goodness. I think it's coming around right now. We can get another look at it. We didn't see that from the POV of the coaster, so that is something to keep in mind if you have these animatronics and stuff. What is the intended point of view to ride these experiences? Is it the front seat? Is it front bumper? Is it the back? Let me know in your description. You said a lot of things in the description, but I don't think you said anything about the preferred seat and view. A lot of good things got done right here for a very first. I want to say first. I think you said it was your first. I don't know. You said a lot of things. I think it's one of your first creations, right? So pretty solid stuff from Mr. Porg 22. Keep on keeping on. Let's go check out our last creation of the day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at Bigfoot, created by ArchitectOfLines, a builder. This is a new name to me as well. Welcome to the Evergreen Summer Camp. Tucked deep in a mysterious forest of Leavenworth, Washington, for years, whispers of strange sightings have echoed through the trees, hinting at something unbelievable. This summer, you and your friends set out to finally uncover the truth. You're sure this is the year you'll spot Bigfoot. The problem is, what if it doesn't want to be found? Join the wild, intimate Blitz coaster as it launches you deep in the heart of the forest, twisting through the towering pines and racing past certain creatures. Very, very fun. Did we actually spot the Bigfoot? I was looking somewhere else on my screen and I thought I saw it from the corner of my eye, but now I'm unsure, so now I'm gonna have to take another look at this. And by the way, what the heck is this coaster? What is this? Wait, you put this thing on the front. What is this? I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's there. What is this supposed to be? Anyways, nighttime. Let's say, keep an eye out for Bigfoot again. I think I saw it, but I'm not sure. Let's go. There it is. Oh, we did in fact catch the Bigfoot. That's great. He's hiding inside of a building, the last place you'd expect him to be. This is ridiculous, and I love it. I don't know what's up with the coaster car. There's certain elements like the you got like power lines and little cabins, and it's got a cozy little cabin here for the boarding station. It's quite cute. Hard to see much at night, but I don't think it's intended to be a night experience, right? If you're in the heart of the woods in the middle of the night, you're not gonna see anything. It's gonna be pitch black. So I don't know about finding Bigfoot at night, but he's hiding in the cabin during the day. So you'll never find him no matter what, guys. Yeah, these little power lines are quite good. Look at this. Fun little setting here. Nice little campground, camp office, Bigfoot. You got footprints everywhere. There's a lot of fun little creative nods that you've done in here, that little touches that I quite liked, and the Bigfoot's hiding on the inside. All right, very good one for a first-time builder to this community. Welcome, welcome, ArchitectOfLines, your first ever coaster contest. Very good stuff there. All right, this is a look at the too big to fit on the Season 1 park map creations, you guys. 4 of them basically filling up what you can basically make an entire theme park with. They did it with what would that be? 8,000, 16, 32,000 pieces. Filled pretty much the entire map. Wow. Okay, so just goes to show what you can do with 8,000 pieces. Yet again, you can make a lot of chaos, underwater universes, gigantic dark rides, and giant Bigfoot hunting grounds. Pretty crazy stuff. What did you guys think of our 4 creations here today? Fire away down in the description below, and that is going to do it for us in today's episode of the Summer Coaster Contest. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye now.